Good morning, everybody. Oh, yes, it is a morning. Good morning, Stacy. I am so glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
Between my phone and my computer, I'm ready to crawl back in bed. So it's a good thing you're here.
Don't leave me.
I won't leave you, I promise, but I'm so glad you're with me this morning. And everybody that's coming in, just come on in and get settled and say good morning. I'm going to play our song. Oh, we got people. Robert Dosa and our Marietta and Rick are coming in. Hello, hello. Let's start this day off with some music. And some coffee. Here's Stacy. Look, we're that.
Well, you better calm down. We're all friends around you. Just join the fun. 'Cause if you're in a hurry, you're missing the point. You should enjoy the fruits of life instead of chasing coins.
People are having a hard time finding it for some.
It's a beautiful day.
Good morning, Annie. Yay, yay, yay. Oh my goodness. Y'all did find it, didn't you? We got 14 of us in here. 16 if you count me and Stacy.
Yeah, there you go. Good morning, everybody. I'm happy to be here.
Oh, it is so good to see you, Stacy. I miss you.
I miss you. I've been a little lazy lately. Well, not lazy.
Not lazy. You're just doing self-care.
Enjoying sleep. The holidays did me in.
I think it did a lot of people. I think it's going to take maybe another week to get back to a routine, right?
I think so.
And that's okay. You'll be just in time for our vision board workshop.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
Today is Manifesting Monday, so we're going to talk about that. Good morning, Charlie.
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah, great to see everybody out this morning coming in for your coffee and for your joy. And Blue just came in. She says, "Hi, Stacy."
And Linda, yay, good morning.
Uh-oh, why don't I see Linda?
Oh, it just says she's watching. She didn't come.
Okay, she's hiding.
She's hiding. Come on out.
No hiding.
Good morning, Jasmine and Andrea and Annie.
Joanne's here. There's Linda.
Rick and Robert. It's been a while. I'm happy to be back.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. It's like a reunion. All right. So let's get our heart brain done and really connect in and start talking about manifesting some of those things that we want to have in our life. I know mine, I just really want to do some laser focusing on mine this week. So this is going to help me a lot that all of you are here today and boosting up the energy. And let's start with going inside, touching your heart center, and then slowing down the breathing. Add in the joy, the warmth, the love. Start thinking while you're doing this. See what's coming to the surface for you. What's your I am today? I am creative.
I am a golden ray of sunshine.
The rainbow in the sky.
I am free of all burdens.
I am peace.
I am peace.
I love these P's for peace that are in here. Good morning, everybody that's popping in. Marietta says, I am divine harmony and balance.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes. So it's 73 this morning. Oh, Andrea, I am grateful. I am hopeful. I am peace. Yes.
Linda, I am resourceful and making important changes. Oh, you just raised the vibration with that. Change is always so good. It's always good because what it means is you're turning away from something that's not working, right? Anytime that we see that, oh my gosh, this isn't working anymore, so let me look at an option. So if you're making a change, that means you're looking at options.
Absolutely. It's not always easy and it's kind of scary, but once you do it, you'll be surprised. All right. Jasmine says, I am free. I am creative. I am healthy.
Jennifer's here. Good morning. Good morning. Florida's showing up.
Yes, we are in the warm weather for now.
We got our Leo. I am healing. I'll let you get Charlie's.
Okay, Charlie, I'm going to get my butt out of bed and moving. That sounds like a great plan, Charlie. I did it.
3, 2, 1. Oh, Blue says, I am a soul having a human experience in joy.
That's beautiful. Joanne, I am moving forward.
Kathy Hand, I am determined and ready to make changes for better health. Another change. I love it. Ooh, so we talked yesterday a little bit about decluttering. And I know Stacy and I, we've both done some decluttering in our lives, both made changes. And I feel like anytime that I'm ready to see what's in front of me and move some energy, I always get Jophiel. She always shows up. And whether you know that that's her name or not, probably if y'all have made changes, and I'm seeing some of you that's saying that you've been doing that, she's been there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't have to always know a name. That's our human part of us that says, oh, what do I call that? You know, we see a rock and it's like, what do I call that? You know, or a gemstone.
Gotta have a label.
Right. We can just say, oh, it's a beautiful thing. You know, it's something that has beautiful energy. No, we got to know what to call it.
Absolutely. That happened to me in meditation one time. I asked one of my guides, well, what is your name? And they said, well, on this side, we don't have names and labels, but if you really need to hear one, you can call me. I said, okay.
Yeah, that's the way it works. And, you know, so many people want to know what the name of their guardian angel is. And I can see that guardian angel or angels are going to be with you your whole life. So it would be good to have a name to refer to them as, or to call them when you're feeling like you need that guide. But yeah, the name is our thing. Okay, I've got to get rid of a troll here. If there's more comments, would you please read them?
All righty, Kathleen Caputo. I am rested and in motion today. I'm getting everything done that is on my list today. I am knowing that it is God working through me. Absolutely. Linda, I asked the angels for help and they are with me. Yes, they are.
Absolutely. I'm hearing in force, Linda. You call and they come a running or flying or whatever they're going to do.
Yes, I cleaned out my refrigerator yesterday and the pantry with everything that snuck in through the holidays that I don't want around me anymore. And I went through closets. I'm just ready to donate some clothes to a lady at my mom's church because she needs clothes. And so when you clean, you give. So it works for everybody.
Absolutely. Oksana's with us on YouTube. She says, I am feeling better and better, more vital and energized with every breath I take. Every cell in my body is filled with light. I am as happy and lucky as I can be. I love myself and radiate love all around me. Life is happy. Life is fun. Life is dancing in the sun. Good things keep on happening to me. I love that. What a poet you are this morning. You know, the angels have been inspiring me to write. Stacy, they've told me this is the year of the angels. And so they're going to speak and they want me writing every night. So I have been doing so. And many of those times it's expressed as a poem first. It's just like a little, maybe a 4 lines that just is kind of expressive. And then they go into the writing from there. And I love poetry. I used to write poetry all the time and just love the energy of it. Yeah. I used to think, I had this idea, I used to think that poems had to rhyme. That was my thinking. A poem has to rhyme, right?
That's what I thought too.
Not all poems rhyme. And, you know, and not all of them are a complete sentence. Sometimes it's just a thought or just words put together. So I love poetry in whatever form it looks like.
Yeah. Are you going to share? Is this something you're sharing?
Yeah, every night they have me write it. And usually it's like early in the morning. And then I put it out there immediately as soon as it's done. The way my blog is, it's on Wix. And so as soon as I publish it, it pops up a little box to share it. So I go ahead and share it. And then I can go to sleep.
They got you busy. Well, I'd like to know a little to it. So I'd like to see.
Yeah, there's some interesting writing. And what I've noticed is people that are finding it feel like it's for them. We've had that happen a couple of days in a row where somebody will bring up something and it's like the writing was exactly what was needed. And that happened yesterday. I was talking to Karen. Our Karen Palmer lost her father yesterday. And she had reached out to me when she heard that he would probably be passing, that, you know, they asked if they wanted to take measures to keep him alive. And So she reached out to me, and the writing that had been done was speaking to her. And I read it to her on the phone as I was talking to her.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh, good morning, Raleigh James Reader. Thank you for being here, but we're not going to inbox anybody. So
Bye.
sayonara. All right. We got 22 in here. That's a magic number. That's an angel number. And it is the year of the angels. So
Yeah. Leo says, like when we were kids and we called in imaginary friends. I was just talking to somebody about I think it was Lisa Berry. So we need our imaginary friends sometimes.
we really do. Yeah, I used to have imaginary friends, but I could see them. They were called angels.
I could
Nobody
see it.
else
Oh,
could
yeah,
see
that's good.
I didn't see Leo's comment,
Oh, you
so
did? Okay.
let me make sure that I didn't kick him off of here when I kicked the troll off.
Uh-oh.
That would not be good, but
No. Blue Jean's calling in Deirdre. Yeah, Deirdre, where are you? Probably cuddled up underneath her blankies. It's probably freezing there.
no, I don't know how cold it is. How cold is it, guys? All my New Yorkers. No, I don't see Leo's comment. Okay, there's Brookie. I see her. Yeah, I don't know. I barely know the weather here.
61 and holding here until it rains this afternoon. Now we're going down in the 30s or 40s this next week, I think.
Well, we were going to talk about decluttering today.
Yes.
And so I'm so glad that you're here, Stacy. Decluttering. I know that you've done a lot of it, and I've been in your house. There's not a lot to declutter. I mean, I don't live there, so I'm sure you're seeing stuff that I probably would not have paid any attention to. But isn't that the way it goes sometimes, that we don't see it? Let's talk about that, because I think that's an important part of decluttering.
Yeah. For me, I know clutter is my big pet peeve. If there's clutter on the counters or on the tables, it really sets my mood to feeling cluttered myself. So I like to just keep it tidy. So then I feel like everything is, good. It fits my mood, I guess. When things are clutty. Did I just make a new?
Like a new word.
Clutty. Okay, cluttered. I feel cluttered inside.
Yeah. I think for me, when I was living by myself, I had a small place. So the clutter in a small place is different than if you have it spread out over, rooms and rooms in your house. But for me, it was like, okay, I'd almost trip over a box. Oh, I'll move that later. I'll get it out of the way later. Isn't that our enemy? That procrastination?
Yes, it is. And, it also, if you look in our life, sometimes there's relationships or, they could be romantic relationships or friendships and we just ignore the clutter of that relationship that is there and we hold on and we don't realize. And then boom, one day it's like, oh, well, this isn't working for me anymore.
When we procrastinate, even on little things, if you see something and you take care of it immediately, whatever that is, it doesn't have to be decluttering. If you see something and it's got to go, then make it gone.
Yeah.
Because we have that thought, oh, I'll use that. I don't want to get rid of it. I'll use it, even though it's been sitting there 5 years. I might need that.
Yeah. That's what I just did over the weekend. I said, this stuff meant a lot to me at one point in my life, and it served a purpose, but it's been sitting in a box closed up in my closet since we moved here. If I don't miss it in a year, it's time to go and bless somebody with it, because it's not doing anything for me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I was just saying pretty much the same thing about Luigi. Those of you who know me know who Luigi is or what Luigi is. And Luigi's pretty fat right now. So he needs to be decluttered. And it's been cold here. I mean, like for me, really cold. So I haven't been able to go outside and unzip it and take out whatever's in there that I haven't even looked at for months on the road. And it's like, okay, I don't even know what all's in there. So I just need to open it up, take everything out, and give away, throw away whatever needs to be done. Because if I'm not getting into it and using it, why do I have it? I mean, certain things, yeah, like my camping equipment is in there. So I want to make sure that I have that for those days. I know there's more camping coming, more getaways where I just go into a place and shut off everything. And thank God there's people that can keep you all going while I do that. Auntie Jean, she really stepped up when I was in the desert this last year.
Absolutely. She did a
Her
great
Grace
job.
Isis.
Absolutely.
Deirdre showed up.
Good morning.
Good morning. You were called in here. You didn't have a choice. We drug you in here.
You know, it's funny when we talk about clutter, I have tubs for each one of my children, and I have 4. So I have 4 tubs from kindergarten up to graduation and everything in between that I thought meant something to them, and it meant something to me. And I'm telling them, I have this box full of stuff. They went through it and took 2 or 3 things, and I don't want any of it. I'm like, now I have to find a way to get rid of it without my heart breaking.
Right. Yeah.
So things that mean stuff to us don't always mean things to other people. So
how do you get started, Stacy? What's your process?
You know, it just strikes me one day. I'll be in a room and I'll say, I don't really need that. And then I'll get rid of that. And I'm like, oh, then I don't really need that. And I'll get rid of that. Just when the mood strikes, and I'm like, no, it's time. The angels are telling me it's time to get rid of some stuff here. So I just
So it's more of an inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like making any change in our life. You know, we get the nudges.
Yes.
We know we get that little urge. And it's like, yeah, I hear you. You know, I don't like it, but I hear you. I've got to do something about this.
Yes. And for me, I don't like to have to do anything. But if I'm inspired to do something, then I'm on a roll and I'll go all day.
That's it. You know, it's like we get that thought. And when we finally decide, okay, I'll make a commitment. And I think for me, it's making the commitment. Once I say yes to something, that's it. You know, I'm going to do it. But if I'm waffling and I'm like, oh, yeah, I know I have to do it. So I'll just, you know, maybe tomorrow I'll find time. Maybe tomorrow the sun will come out and it'll be warm outside and I can go look at Luigi. You know, it's like we come up with excuses, don't we?
Yes, it's the have to.
Yeah.
That gets me.
Right. And so, you know, we're talking about that, about decluttering outside of us, taking an action, taking a step. But what about on the inside?
Yes.
I think that's sometimes even harder than decluttering the outside, don't you?
Well, I think it is. Like now I've joined a weight loss program, and I decluttered the refrigerator of all the foods, and now I got to declutter my insides with all the foods that I ate during the holidays. So that's going to take a little work. And sometimes you can't really see what's going on inside in order to, I need to get rid of this or that. So it's a whole process. And your mind too. Got to get those thoughts aligned with each other.
The Great word, aligned. I love that A word. And if you
Yeah.
put the triple A all together, then it just totally blasts you into action. So I think for me, it's okay, I hear you, angels. And then I'll just kind of put it in the back of my mind and not really do anything sometimes until it's a problem.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Do y'all, anybody out there in the audience? We got a wonderful audience today. We have 24
Yes.
people.
Wow.
Welcome, everybody. But let us know, just type in the comments if that's something that you found too. If you have that inspired thought and let's say, okay, let's go with weight loss. That's a common thing, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
You keep having that thought, I've got to do something about the weight. I've got to do something. But then it's like other things take priority. You know, I've got to take the Christmas decorations down or whatever it might be that grabs your attention. And I call it squirreling. If you have that thought, if you have that thought that you need to do something. Oh, but look, there's a squirrel. Oh, wait, I got to go take care of it, And so things start pulling your attention and you start getting away from that main focus of what you were thinking about of doing, and you didn't take the action plan.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now it might be a problem, right? You put it off and you put it off and you say tomorrow. And, of course, tomorrow never comes.
Yeah, it's always the next day or the next day. And it's amazing. We all want things to come to us, but when they do, oh, wait, maybe not today.
So I just want to know, are Stacy and I the only ones that do this? Are we by ourselves here, guys? Let's see a little yes or a thumbs up or something. Give us something here. But I don't think we're alone. I think most of us, we just tend to procrastinate.
Yeah.
And I've been that way for so long, and I've made a lot of change in my life. And one of those things is to try to address something when it's in my thought, even if it's outside or inside. If I see something, okay, I don't need that. That paper's been sitting there for 5 days and I didn't do whatever I was going to do with it. It's out of here.
Yeah.
So I try to be more conscious and more aware if there's something that does need to be moved out. Even energy, sometimes we feel like there's something going on with our energy and we know that we need to do some decluttering and straighten things out and get rid of some thoughts and look at some beliefs. If we do it the minute we have that thought, or like one of the books that we read was called the 5-second rule. And you count backwards from 5. And when you hit that 1, it's like, okay, do it. Because if you don't, it's going to be filed away until it becomes a problem. Yes, right?
Absolutely. When it reminds me of when we moved when the kids were little, we had a large house in Royal Palm Beach, close to Linda. I wish I'd have known her then. Absolutely would have been amazing. Yeah. So with kids, I had high school, middle school, pre-K, and I didn't have time, like the mail, for instance. The mail would come in, I would get the bills out and just set a pile of the junk mail. Well, as soon as we moved, I had this huge box of junk mail, but why did I have that? It just was like, it just dawned on me, like, I could have just thrown that away. Why do I have a big box of it? So then that was another step in moving I had to take to get rid of that stuff. And so it's like sometimes we're so not mindful of the things we do.
You have a junk drawer?
I have an organized junk drawer now. I used to have a huge junk drawer full of everything, but I knew where everything was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was one of my nightmares. I always hated my junk drawer when I had a place that I lived. Now I think my junk drawer is Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi's got your junk. You got junk in your trunk.
I do have junk in my trunk, and it's got to go. Yeah, that junk drawer. Oh my God, how easy is that? You put something in the drawer and shut it, and it's like, okay, I don't have to think about it anymore until you open that drawer again. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh my God, what all's in there?
Until you get company and they're looking for your silverware.
I
That's not
know.
it.
You need to put a big X on that drawer.
Yes.
Do not open. Step away from the drawer.
I think being an empty nester now, it's given me more time to on my hands without children and baseball and school functions and stuff to declutter more. Mind, body, and junk drawer.
Exactly. So we mentioned Jophiel, and that angel has been such a blessing in my life. And Jophiel not only helps us declutter, but she helps us to see how beautiful we are and how beautiful the world is and other people that are in our lives. I just love Jophiel. And I know that you had read a little bit about her before we came on here today. Is there anything that struck you about Jophiel that
Yes.
you'd like to share?
I have my complete encyclopedia of angels here.
I love that.
Yeah, thank you. Let me get my glasses. She'll help you, or he, I'm so sorry, but they're not he or she.
Right. You can say either one.
Yeah. My favorite part was it says that he'll jazz up your spiritual practices. And that just got me like, jazz it up. Because a lot of times I think I've got to sit still and quiet and I've got to close my mind and not think. But if you're meditating for answers and you're not thinking, how are you going to get the answers, Or dancing is spiritual too. So jazzing that up, that really spoke to me. And he inspires us. And I really need a lot of inspiring right now.
Mm.
That's nice. But I love this. There's a picture here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I like to envision them. A lot of people are inspired to paint the angels or draw them. And sometimes when I look at some of those, especially like if it's Archangel Michael, it's like, oh, that's how I see him too. Even though mostly what I see is just his energy, sometimes I just have this inspired thought that, oh, Michael is, looks like this.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people, when they do paint an angel and other people paint it, there's a lot of similarities. I love that. So thank you for showing us that picture.
When you were, I was blessed to do Time Heals when you were here and be certified in that. And it was around Christmas. And you asked me for the saint, what I was and I kept getting Saint Nicholas. And I'm thinking, well, that's just because it's Santa Claus. But then we looked it up and he's a saint, not just Santa. And he works with children in healing, which is great. So that's really I was like so blown away.
I love it when we get enlightened about saints and angels. And there's been several angels that I've heard about lately that I didn't really know anything about. So I just want to explore all of them and just get to know all of them while I'm still here in my human body. I know we'll all get to be with them and party with them after we leave, but for right now, I think we could use so many of these that we don't know, that we're not familiar with. And if y'all are not familiar with Jophiel, I encourage you to call Jophiel in. All you have to do is say, hey, Jophiel, help me declutter here. Help me get rid of the things that are not needed in my life. And just get to know the energy of this angel. Whether you call it male or female, it doesn't matter. Angels don't care. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm here.
They inspire me. I need to be inspired. I am ready and willing.
I saw a note. I know we're not reading all the comments, but I love this conversation today.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it was Brookie. Let me go back up to that. I can find it. But she was talking about, she started to declutter and look at things to get rid of, and she started getting caught up in the sentimentality of those things.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Brookie, how many times have I done that? Especially, you know what clutters for me are cards that people send.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll have this stack of cards and then I'll be reading them and I'm like, I can't get rid of that.
Yes, I agree with that. I have a box of, tons of boxes of Christmas decorations, and then in each box are cards from like years ago, and new ones and old ones. And
Yeah,
for me, that's a hard one too.
yeah. There's so many comments. I can't find the one that she said, but that was the gist of it. And there it is. Great advice on decluttering. I went through my old college notebooks and research papers yesterday and found myself getting attached and wanting to save them all. My initial goal, however, was to get rid of them. And so I absorbed, revisited what I could, and now I have them all ready for a nice little bonfire tomorrow night. I love that, Brookie.
They'll serve another purpose.
Yes. And I know you don't see Oksana, so let me just, none of you see her because she's on YouTube. She says, I have 1 minute rule. I never put anything for tomorrow. I do something small for at least 1 minute, and it makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's
That procrastination is not our friend at all.
What's funny, Carrie? I had a few breakable items that I didn't really care for, but I felt I had to have them and keep them for, because somebody in the family gave them to me. And the grandbabies came over one day and broke one. And I was like, and they're like, oh my gosh, Grandma, I broke it. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not upset with you one bit. And in my mind, I was thinking, thank goodness now I can throw this away. So they got a lesson that Grandma cares and she's not going to yell if they break something. And I was like, oh, good, it's gone.
Okay, so Blue got me. She says, okay, Dave just got me coffee. And don't panic, I'm putting on socks. That's not like Blue at all. So it must be really cold in Vermont. She says, I love my junk drawer. Teri, so do you. That is why I always have what you need at the ready. Well, yeah, I got to say, like I think it was you that said the word organized junk drawer. Yeah, some people know. They know exactly where to go to put their hand on something and say, here it is. You needed this. Here you go. But for me, in my experience, it was like, I know it's in here somewhere, and I'll spend half an hour looking for it in the junk drawer, right?
Yeah. Well, my husband will say, Stace, do you know where this is? And I'll say, in that closet, third shelf down to the right. And he'll like, how do you know this stuff?
Yeah.
I organize it.
Your mind filed it away.
Linda says,
here.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Linda says, Stacy, I was told to take pictures of the sentimental stuff and put them in an album, and you can still sit there with the memories, but condensed. That's a good idea, Linda. Thank you.
It's a good idea, especially like I was talking about the cards. For me, cards have such meaning to me because somebody took the time to send it to me and to write something in it. And I just feel bad when I throw something away that has such personal meaning. So I love that idea, Linda. Thank you.
That is a good idea. We didn't do a Kuan Yin card this morning, Teri.
I pulled it. I just haven't read it because this conversation has been so good. But, we're going to be doing a free workshop on Tuesday, tomorrow. My gosh, tomorrow's Tuesday. And so I think one of the things that might come up when we're talking about manifesting is decluttering. So I think we're going to continue this conversation tomorrow.
I'll come back.
Yeah. And tomorrow at 5:00, Michelle and I are doing that free workshop. If you all haven't signed up for it yet, get signed up. It is free. You don't have to pay anything for that one. And we're going to really share some things with you and give a freebie away. And you're going to want to be there. You'll be on Zoom. You don't have to turn your video on. And you don't even have to come on the Zoom, but we'd like to know that you're interested in what we have to say and teach. And that's the prelude to the workshop on the 22nd, which is the Vision Board workshop. All right, so Kuan Yin is the amaryllis lute. You are growing fast and leaving fear behind. When your vibration changes, so too does your life. It is safe and loving. I'm sorry. It is safe and loving for you to release that which no longer feels right for you. No matter how important it was in your old life, it might not have the same place in your new life. Accept the healing change now. You guys, you can't make this stuff up.
I had a feeling. I was waiting for it. That
Oh
was
my gosh. She just blows me away, Stacy. Every time I pull a card and it's like exactly what we've been talking about or people are asking about. And then there it is, just so like black and white. Here you go.
Yep, you're on the right topic, she's saying. Absolutely.
Thank you, Kuan Yin. And yes, yes, yes. Oh, Linda wants me to read it again.
Read it again. Yes.
Okay, but before that, she says, how do I sign up for tomorrow's workshop? There's a jot form. I'll make sure it's in the Morning Cuppa messengers that we all contribute in with our comments. And I'd love for you all to be there on that Zoom call because it's going to be amazing and fun. And then the workshop tomorrow is at 5:00. And yes, it will be streaming it on YouTube as well, Oksana. And then on the 22nd, it's at 2:00 in the afternoon, Eastern time. It's a 2-hour workshop. We're going to do vision boarding. And if you've signed up, you'll be getting some more information. If you haven't signed up, then sign up. Why not? Why wouldn't you want to come in and have fun with us?
Kathleen says she was eavesdropping.
Kuan Yin always eavesdrops on us, doesn't she? All right, so Linda wanted it read again. Let's take in these words. You are growing fast and leaving fear behind. When your vibration changes, so too does your life. It is safe and loving for you to release that which no longer feels right for you. No matter how important it was in your old life, it might not have the same place in your new life. Accept the healing change now. She's talking about decluttering, guys, and how important that is to realize that we don't need everything that we had accumulated and what we thought was so important. And even like some of those beliefs that we held for years and years and years, and we thought we have to hold on to that belief, right?
Yeah.
Look at it, examine it, do the same thing you would do with a box that's packed full of things, and go through those beliefs as well and say, okay, does that still work for me? Do I still really buy into that belief?
Yeah.
And examine it. Maybe it needs to be out of there.
Yeah. Was it my belief, or was it something that was put to me from a teacher or a parent or a friend or a neighbor? And it might not even be your thoughts, so it's your belief. So yeah.
And Blue, I did pull the card before Stacy and I started talking, but I was so caught up in the conversation, I had no idea what the card said. It was just kind of sitting here waiting for it to be turned over and read. It's like, okay, yeah, she definitely was eavesdropping. And Brookie had a question. Where do we sign up? And can you send out a recording of the free workshop to those of us who signed up for the vision board workshop and can't make it live at 5? Yes, it will be on all social media because we're going to go live on Gratitude Happy Hour. So we'll be on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, you name it, we're going to be there. So, so you'll be able to listen to what's said there, but you'll miss out on being able to ask questions. And I love that when we do workshops, if you're able to have your questions answered.
Yeah.
Oh, Auntie Jean says, I have a box full of all the cards I've received. That's over 60 years of cards.
That's beautiful.
I hear you.
Great at the bottom of that. So Teri, you're talking about manifesting. I had this unusual thing happen. Well, I shouldn't say unusual. Remember when we went to Casadega and we were on the fairy trail and it was the bird lady the statue. I didn't know the name at the time. And I was like, oh my goodness, she just touched my heart. Like I knew that I just loved that. And then we went with C to Diana. Is it Diane or Diana? And she had the same statue, has the same statue by her pool. And I was like, oh my goodness, I just feel drawn to this statue and I keep seeing it. And so finally I was searching for it on Pinterest and everywhere. And I got the name. It's the Savannah Bird Girl.
Oh,
Is the name of this. And that's not the one that we saw, isn't exactly like the one in Savannah. It's a different version, but I like that one. So then I said, I'm going to manifest this for my birthday. I'm manifesting the Savannah Bird Girl. Well, first of all, then my husband tells me we're going to Savannah for my birthday. And then I said, I'm looking everywhere for this bird girl and I couldn't find it. So I was about to give up. And I signed on to a website and the lady that messaged me, her name was Georgia Bird Girl. I said, okay, I'm not giving up. I'm going to still continue to manifest this statue. But it's like all these things are lining up for it.
yeah. Isn't it beautiful to look back and see the process and just say, oh, I see how that worked. They just put everything out there in place. I just had to follow the breadcrumbs. You know?
Yeah. And just when I was about to give up, they threw me a big breadcrumb and said, no, it's on its way. Georgia Bird Girl just messaged you with a question.
I love that. Jean and I have come across some new cards. And so we wanted to get them, but we couldn't find any way to order them because they're coming from overseas. So both of us had pretty much said, oh, I guess that's not meant to be, but we really were loving the energy of the cards we were looking at. So I had just sent a message out to the lady and didn't hear anything back. And I thought, well, you know, it's not going to happen. And then all of a sudden there was the message. And so I think we might have some new cards to bless people with if we can get those. I was so excited when she answered me that we possibly could get these cards, and they're angel cards. So
I can't wait.
Can't wait. They're the energy of them so beautiful. They're so different from any I've ever seen before. And this lady made them. They're not on sale anywhere other than through her. So I'm excited about that.
I can't wait. Oh my goodness. Did you see the time?
I just looked at the time. This has been so much fun. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Ooh, I needed this, Stacy. I needed to bounce this stuff off. And so thank you for being here. And yeah, if you want to come in tomorrow's terrific Tuesday.
Terrific.
And let's do some more bouncing.
Okay. Yeah, this was fun. I really needed it. You know, sometimes you don't know if you're going inward to heal or if you're withdrawing for different reasons. So this kind of put it to where, yes, I was healing, but now I need to get my hiney out there and get back with my peeps.
It's important to have that support. That's what I find. And that's what this is. We are support for each other. And you know, the prayers is a huge part of that. When we lift up your loved one, that's us showing that we care. And I see that Kathleen wants us to add a name, Tom Brown, to the prayer list. I'm doing that right now, Kathleen. And I'm going to read these names if you all want to stick around and help us to lift up the names. If you have to go, I understand that. But just please, if you can, pray for those that we lift up, those that have been put in our care for us to bring in whatever is the best and highest good for each person that we pray for. And I always say it that way because we don't know what that highest good is. Becky LaFave, I'm so glad that you came in. I've been so concerned about your son. Please give us an update. And he's on our list. He's in our hearts. So we'd love to hear how Travis is doing and just share that with us so we know how we're praying for him. And Linda says, please add a friend in Sarasota who doesn't want the name announced. Okay. I'm just going to put Linda's friend, whatever I did with my pen.
So just a little update with my mom. She had her second treatment of the immunology. I can't say it right. Immunotherapy. And it makes her tired and dizzy and stuff like that. But then she had some blood work done. So her cholesterol has come down because I'm helping her with things to eat that can help her heal. And her blood pressure was a little high, but other than that, she's doing really, really well with the treatments. So
Oh, good, Stacy. I'm so glad. And how about your uncle?
he is looking for an oncologist right now to go to see what the next steps are.
Right. Well, we've got him on here. And Rick just asked if we could pray for Tammy Williams, who's gone to the hospital and asking for prayer.
And Becky says he's slowly on the mend, taking care of this infection. Thank you all for the prayers and healing. I'm very grateful. I love you all. Yes, sorry.
Oh.
I have my glasses right here, but
Thank you, Becky, for that update. We've all been so concerned about Travis.
Mhm.
And I mentioned earlier about Karen Palmer's dad. He did pass yesterday, and such a tough time because Karen is so far away from him physically. So he has moved on in spirit, and I think she's coming to a good place, but it's so fresh. And so let's keep lifting Karen up and just loving her. And let me get rid of somebody that is trolling us here.
Goodness. It was good to see her on chanting last night. Her beautiful face.
I told her if she couldn't do it, don't worry about it. We understand, but she needed to be there.
Yeah, she looked so beautiful. Blue Jean would like us to add Jay and Lee to the prayer list. Also, I am strongly concerned Mary Jane is not feeling well. Betsy is incredibly ill also. She is the person who has the place where the angel circle was held. Last but not least, I know his is on our list, but Dave's heart is sore due to the losses. Yes.
Certainly will. Let me add Betsy. I think all the others are already on here. And yes, I do remember Betsy well from that angel circle that we did in Vermont. Okay, we keep getting the trolls.
It's Troll Monday.
It is. And please, any of you that see those little links, do not click on any of the links.
No. Jasmine says, my mom, Rainey, is a bit better than before. Well, that's good news.
Great. We love to hear good news, and we love to hear the answers to prayers when they come in. So if y'all have any more, just please type it in the comments. And let's go through this list and lift all these people up. Remember, as I say a name, that's a person, that's an energy, or it's a place with energy. So let's go through these. And as you're thinking of them, just send love from your heart. It's a heart healing we do to each one on the list. And then we'll do a short heart healing for Mama Gaia after that. Let's pray for Prachetta, Prachir, Navriti, Jasmine and her daughters Anya and Myra and her mom Ronnie, Abha, Billy and Tim Hawkins and their family, Sheila and Kevin and their family, especially their sons Justin and Brandon, Gary, James, Loretta and Cecil and their family, Joanne Castillo and her family, especially her daughter Jackie and her grandson Eris, Deirdre, lifted her high, her daughter Danya, her sister Steph and her husband Bob, Adriel, Joni, Suzanne Millard and her family, her daughters Jillian and Jackie, granddaughter Jessa and her sister Karina, Marietta and Ed Stoner, Leo Harley and his family, DJ Blaze, Lakshmi, Ken, Wendy, Jebby, Jim and his son, Ryan, Edwin, and the family of the children in Wilton Manors involved in a hit and run and their families.
Yes.
Rick and Josie Morrow, Danae DeCandio, Vicky and Georgia, Meg and Jim Lorio and their family, Jean and Ron Lorio and their family, especially Michael, who just went through surgery, Christine and Carrie Leftwich and all of Christine's family, Mary Lou Burdick, Catherine and Michael Kovacs and their family and fur babies, Rosalind Good Vibes, Mira Rubin, Sally and Tony De La Rosa, Kathy and Bob Hand and family, her mom and dad, Bo and Candy Hand, and her friends Patty and Sonia, as well as her co-workers, Jen, Ashley, Nicole, and Valerie, Pat Moss, and her daughter and grandchildren, Olivia and Tom, and her sister, Susan. We haven't seen Pat on in a while. I'm going to reach out to her and make sure everything's okay. Becky LaFave and her son, Travis, Erica Hoppy, another one who just lost a parent recently, and let's lift Erica and her whole family up. Corrine, Charlie Coons and his family, his brother Raymond and his wife Kathy, Hope, Wellington, Marshall, and Zena, and Hope's parents, her mom and dad, Trey Horn, Andrea Gregg, Catherine, Eric, John, Tatiana, Annie Seven, and her son Grayson, and also Regina and Adam, the family of Kirk Taylor, who just passed, Cassandra, Destiny Ortega, Luz Orsini and her sister, Christine Lewis, Gail and Nick Zimmerman, Jennifer and Micah Langren and her brothers Chuck and Ken, Oksana and your mom, along with Amber, Jenna, Katia, Maximus and Max's teacher, Herb, Isabel and Paul Reese, and daughters Inesh and Teresa, Linda and Dick Lemieux and their sons and grandchildren, Stacy and Josh Lord and their children and grandchildren, Stacy's mom and her uncle Richard and your cousin Kim, Mary Lord, Wayne, Lou Jean and Dave Walensky. Let's lift Dave up high today. And their fur babies, Pocket, Gruff, Lizzie B, Blue, Lulu and Gizmo, Pam and Gordy, Lindsay, Kat, Candy and Pastor Bruce, Dr. Beard, Jenny Reed and the family of John Reed, who just passed, Jay and Lee. Lee is the one that had the stroke, and Blue's asking us to lift Jay up today. The Deerfield Valley in Vermont, Brookie Woodside and her family, the Girardi family, Jeanette and Ernie, Sean, Angel and Derek Fullerton, Lily Ann in Norway and her family, Stina and Michael, her children, and grandson Gabriel and Lily's mother. Kathleen Caputo, praying for your eye for healing. Catherine, baby Wyatt, baby Haven, Alba, Dottie and Dawn, Grace Isis, her father Edwin, her sisters Helena, Jean, Cynthia, and Edwina, and all of their family, their children and fur babies, Raymond, Darren Walker, Arthur Thompson, Karen Palmer, please lift her up and her sisters, her entire family, her daughter Marissa, who just lost her grandfather, and her mom also, Barbara Wall in Florida, Elaine Armstrong, Elena, Tabby, Irene, Heaven and Son, Marianne, Henrik and Lorraine, Bill, Tammy Fisk and her daughter, and Tammy's sister Tracy, Kelly, Rochelle and your mom Rose, Stephen, Donna and the family of Todd who just passed, Tina Carzo, Catherine, Tony Hidalgo and her family, Pam in Utah, Ruth Anderson and her family who are displaced because of the fire and just lost their home, and her sister-in-law Sharon, Jeannie in Boulder, Colorado, and her sister Merle, the entire region that was affected in Boulder by the fires, and over 1,000 homes that were lost there to that fire. Deb Goldberg and her family, Michelle, Crystal and Dean Nobles, and sons Gabriel and Jacob, and Brody the dog, Laura Hill, Joanne Rice and Bob Rice's family, Soma, Julia Osborne, Sharon Rhea and her family, Nick and family, Sherry Gatewood and her brother-in-law Padama, Panaya Christian, also known as Hummingbird, Tammy Hill, Phil B., Lynn Gallagher, Daniel Navarro, Wendy Roberts, Terry Wilderman, and Terry praying for travel prayers as she goes to Florida to be with her father who is declining. Mary Crincoli and friends J.H., Mike S., and John. Irene and Eduardo, Eddie Quills, Jose, Michael Murdoch, Jessica, Fidel, Camilla and Nick, Lynn Andriozzi, Frank, Albie, Viola, Kenneth, Bobby, Mansi, Kamal, Maddie, Akil and the Pakistan orphans, Noel, Yuri, Scott, Letitia, Mary, Raven Dalek, Joshua, James, Drake, Alicia Burns, Pam Dyke, Chris Blake, Betsy, Kimberly, Trevor Gotardi's family, Ellen, Sue Seekoff and her family, especially Richard, Ethel Huggard, Terry Gilstad, the Walters family, Chiaro, Ricardo, Cynthia's dad, Sharon Stroud, Kirillani, Marissa, Allie, Bree, Claudia, Gracie, Catherine O'Shea, Mary Ann Pesci and her family, Cassandra and Danny Gary, Lenny, Fiona Dilston, Rick Ulfick, who came home from the hospital, but he still needs our prayers after a heart attack, Pamela Dawn, Sophia, John Thaddeus Fiore, Kuka Carney and her family who just lost her mother as well. So all of these have been placed in our care and we care about each and every one equally. So please lift all these names up in your hearts and just send out a blast of love. And then, as I said, let's do that heart healing. Let's just take in energy from Source Creator. I call it God, call it whatever you want. Just go into your heart and receive. Receive that energy coming forth. It is a healing energy. Kuan Yin says, love heals. Plain and simple. It starts the healing process inside. So breathe that love back out over every name that was read. And then breathe it in again. And send it forth into Mama Gaia. Send it deep into the heart, deep into where all the roots are that are dug deep into the earth. And let that energy come back up and enter the earth plane where all the inhabitants are walking on Mama Gaia's back, touching every inhabitant, every human, every animal, all of nature, the trees, the waterways, the mountains, the valleys. Let everything that has energy feel your love. Doesn't that feel awesome to be able to give without any expectation, just unconditionally love? And that's how we make changes. It's how we make an impact here in the world. It's just to give freely. And that's what we do every day. When we come together, we give love to each other. So let's do that now. Thank you all for staying for those prayers. Thank you for caring and for loving each other enough to say, I'm going to lift up your loved one. I'm going to hold them tight and just wrap my arms of love around all of them. And now we wrap our arms around each other. Stacy, would you count us down for the heart telephone?
Sure. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you. I
love you.
love you. I love you all so much. Oh, and Susanna's here. Suzanne's here and Erica. Yay.
Right.
Awesome. Oh, thank you. Annie says, my niece Regina is in the prayer list. She had a hernia and still taking cancer medicine and infection in her body and still needs healing. Absolutely. We are going to, any of them that you place on the prayer list, they stay on the prayer list until you tell me a miracle has happened or they're good now, whatever has happened, and we can take them off the list. But thank you all for loving on each other. Love you so much. We got a song to listen to, but there's our Hope. Oh, thank you, Hope. Hope says it was a beautiful show. I think so too. I think it was pretty awesome myself.
All right. Question, Teri. Are you going to declutter anything today?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I am. I don't know if I will unzip Luigi today, but I've got other stuff that's in the car that's got to get moved out. So, yes. And how about you, Stacy?
I am. Yes, I am. I'm not
So
sure.
How about any of you all out there? Anybody going to declutter today? Just say yes. Put it in the comments. Yes. And let's get some decluttering done. And let's hear our song. I love that it's our song.
Yes.
Leo did this just for us. Here we go.
We move into declutter.
Yeah. Yes, from Robert Dosa.
Morning, Earth
Marietta.
It's time to get up and get ready because today's the perfect day to have
Oh,
a great
Tiffany,
day.
yes.
Here we go, come on, come on. Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One on the peace for peace, on our mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead wherever we may be. We create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste.
Decluttering, what are you waiting on?
Joy, give me a cuppa fulla. Give me a cuppa fulla joy. Give me a cuppa fulla. Cuppa full of joy, full of light, full of love. Bottomless refuse, spilling out from the top. Here, the coffee's always hot and the truth is always yours. The sun is calling out to play, let's put on a show. Today's a new day, we all part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team. And you can side with us, there is always no space in the pot. For more love, take a spot and get the day started. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cuppa fulla joy. Give me a cuppa fulla. Give me a cuppa fulla joy. Give me a cuppa fulla. Give me a cuppa fulla joy. Give me a cuppa fulla. Give me a cuppa fulla joy. Give me a cuppa fulla.
Fulla Joy.
There really is no secret. We simply accept, allow. AAA, morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning Cuppa Fulla Joy, with all the P's and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you,
Oh,
namaste.
awesome, Annie. Thank you for sharing.
Cuppa Joy, Cuppa Fulla Joy. Joy, give me Cuppa joy, give me Cuppa joy, give me Cuppa joy, give me Cuppa Joy. Give me a cup of joy. Woo!
Woo! I love it. And Leo has promised us he will be in Vermont, and we are going to film a video to that one, the Cuppa Fulla Joy song.
Yes,
Don't y'all love that?
I do. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move now.
I know that song does that. It gets you moving. So let's get moving and get decluttering, and let's move out of here so we
Yeah.
can get on with our day. Stacy, thank you so much for being here.
You're
I
welcome.
love
It's an
you.
honor. Thank you.
And wow, what a great, beautiful, amazing family we had with us today. Thank you all for being here. Love you so much. And we leave you with
Namaste.
stay
y'all. Bye. Mwah.
everybody.